If you grab any history book on astronomy, you'll typically find the first chapter is dedicated to perhaps the ancient Greeks from almost 3,000 years ago, or perhaps the Mayan people of Central America dating back a whopping 5,000 years. But what if I told you the first astronomers were perhaps from Australia and over 50,000 years ago? Hi, I'm Dr Michael Cowley and I'm an astronomer from the Queensland University of Technology. So who were these ancient astronomers from so long ago? Well, it was the ancient ancestors of the Australian Aboriginal people, of course. For thousands of years, they passed down stories and ceremonies that intimately linked with the night sky. But let's step back. What is an astronomer? Well, an astronomer is someone who studies the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, and all those weird objects in space. And while the ancestors of the Australian Aboriginal people were no doubt familiar with many of these beautiful celestial objects, did they really study them? What is clear to us now is that these objects, such as the sun, the moon and the stars, they played a heavy influence on the Aboriginal culture. Close to Sydney in the Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park, ancient stone engravings of these objects have been discovered. But perhaps more interesting is one of an emu. This emu is stretched out in a very unique way, a way you'll never find a real emu doing in the wild. However, it looks exactly like the great emu in the sky, which is somewhat like a constellation of stars, but instead made up of the dust lanes of our Milky Way galaxy. More importantly is that when the great emu in the sky aligns with the engraving of the emu on the ground, it's the perfect time of year when real-life emus are laying their eggs, a potential food source for the ancient Australian Aboriginal people. You see, while we today study the stars to better understand our place in the universe, to people thousands of years ago, not only did they do the same, but they did it to inform them of their very way of living, to tell them of when to hunt for food, or the change of seasons, or even a way of navigating. All of this is the study of astronomy, and it's why the ancestors of the Australian Aboriginal people are likely to be the world's first astronomers. I'm sorry I wasn't able to catch up with you this year, but you, your family and your friends' health is more important. My hope is that we'll all be able to get together again next year at one of the It Takes a Spark or Yes conferences, and hopefully then I'll be able to share more about Australian Aboriginal astronomy with you. Until then, stay safe and enjoy the stars.